welcome back. Day 2 of our baking extravaganza. This one's going to be really good today too. September 22nd, my favorite, National White Chocolate Day. I for some reason think we had a white chocolate day before, but I don't know. I know we've used white chocolate on a bunch of shows, but this one says White Chocolate Day, so we're going to make the best of it. Now, the only thing better than using just white chocolate, well, I'll get to that in a second. We're going to do a blondie today, because we haven't made a blondie in a while. We had one way back at the beginning of the year, and I love a blondie, and especially a white chocolate blondie. But what we're going to do today is incorporate something else that I just absolutely love. And I've used it a couple times on the show, and I've been telling you, if you don't know about it, you better go get it and you better try it. I know it looks like peanut butter, but it's not. It's actually Biscoff cookie butter spread. It is life-changing, I'm telling you. So we are going to make Biscoff white chocolate blondies today. I can't wait to try this one today because these are two of my absolute favorite things. So mixing them together into one bar, I just think is going to be crazy good. Alrighty? So stick around. Here's what you need. Let's get on this one today. I got to get some milk too because, man, I know I'm going to need to really just chow down on these bars. Be back. Okay, for our Biscoff white chocolate blondies today, you'll need a cup of all-purpose flour, a half a teaspoon of baking powder, an eighth of a teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of salt, 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter melted, a cup of light brown sugar, 1 large egg, 1 egg yolk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, a half a cup of Biscoff cookie butter spread, and 1 1/4 cups of white chocolate chips. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to take my salt, baking powder, and baking soda and mix that, whisk that right with my flour here. Okay, we want to whisk that together so those things are combined, and then we're just going to push this off to the side in a bit. We'll be back to that in a bit. In our bowl here with our beater attachment, I'm going to mix my brown sugar and my butter, my melted butter, okay? And we're just going to mix that together so that's all incorporated. Okay, and then once you have that mixed together, you're going to take your 1 whole egg and your 1 egg yolk and mix that in. And also your vanilla. Okay, and then finally to this mixture, I'm going to mix in our Biscoff spread, okay? Okay, so that's all mixed. Now, usually we would just mix the flour, dump the flour into our cake and dough mixtures, and we just mix that in last, whether you add a little at a time or you dump the whole thing at a time. This recipe is telling me that you want to fold in your flour, because otherwise if you mix it in and you overmix this, you'll get a crumbly blondie rather than like a chewy, moist, kind of blondie. Okay, we'll see what they say. We'll do what they say. See if it works. So I'm just putting my flour mixture in here, and I'm just going to gently fold this in with the Biscoff mixture just until it's all incorporated, okay? It's going to take a few minutes, I'm sure, because there's a lot of flour here, and I'm sure this is going to turn into a very stiff dough. Make sure you got your oven preheating on 350, and we'll be back to dump this into our pan and get started on the baking process. Well, we got to still add the white chocolate chips. It is white chocolate. This is the star today, I know. I'm very excited about the Biscoff and the blondie, but technically that's the star today. Alrighty? Be right back. I'm going to start sweating soon because I gave myself a good workout mixing by hand this flour in and now the white chocolate chips in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I have an 8-inch square baking pan that's been greased, parchment papered, and then a shot of the baking spray again, just to make sure. We don't want our brownies or our blondies sticking, okay? And now we're just going to put the dough right in there. If you have a couple stray chocolate chips that fall out, that's okay, because you're going to press this whole thing right into your pan anyway. Okay, so make sure you get all of this out of here. I gotta get some stiffer scrapers because my silicone ones don't really seem to grab like I want them to. Alright, press this into the pan. It's going to go into our 350 oven for about 25 minutes. You want to keep your eye on it, especially when you're getting close to that time. So you might want to set your timer for 20, and that way you kind of watch it and babysit it the last 5 minutes, because you definitely don't want to overcook your blondies. You don't want your blondies to turn into brownies because that ain't going to be good. Alrighty? I'm just going to spread this out. Perfect. Even. Ready to go in the oven. See you in a bit when they come out. Okay, so our blondies are just about ready to come out. I have my cooling rack all ready. Okay. We want to make sure we don't overbake these, like I said. There's my timer. So, these look great. Let me shut off my timer there. Perfect. Or they look perfect anyway. Okay, because they're not too browned on the edges. Now remember, you always want to get them out of here, but they're a little too hot. I don't want them all falling apart. So I'm just going to leave that to cool for just a minute or two. Then we're going to get it out and put it on our cooling rack. Let it cool down. Then we'll come back and slice them and have our taste today. Man, I can't wait to have these today. It's been a while since I've had a blondie. We've done so many other things that, you know, I didn't have a chance. When I bake for this show, I don't bake other stuff too, because it's just so much baking that we do for this show. So when the year's up, then I can go back and do all the fun recipes that I really liked and that I really enjoyed more often. But for now, we just got to do them as they come. Alrighty? So see you in a little bit for the tasting. I definitely gonna get a big glass of milk for this one. I got my glass of milk. Now I know, before anybody says anything, I know you're gonna say, what the heck happened to that thing? Yeah, I know. What happened was, when I let it cool down a little bit and I took it out and I put it on my cooling rack to finish cooling, I noticed that it seemed still kind of wet inside. I don't know, it just seemed like it wasn't cooked through. Now the problem is that if you leave it too long or bake it even longer in the pan, it gets too brown along the edges, you know, like when you make brownies and, you know, the outside gets all crusty and it's too baked and then the inside is... That's kind of what happened here. So I took it out of the pan to let it cool, and it started to spread a little bit because it was still kind of wet and runny. So then what I did was took a larger size pan and put this into it so it wasn't touching the edges. That way it could bake it and put it back in the oven and let it bake a little bit longer. So that way, but unfortunately as it baked longer, it kind of spread out a little bit, but that's okay. Because it's still, now that it's cooled down, going to be able to be cut into bars. See? So now we still have our Biscoff white chocolate bar. So I'm just going to cut a piece of it just so I can give it a taste for today. Got my glass of milk. Let's see. It's a really good blondie. I'm trying to see if you get the... I got the flavors of the white chocolate for sure. I'm just trying to see if I get the flavor of the Biscoff. Taking a more of a center piece rather than the outside part, which is a little crustier. It's a really good blondie. I'm not going to take that away from it. Do I really get the Biscoff in it? The cookie butter? Nah. Not so much. Not so much, but I definitely get the white chocolate. which is what today is anyway. So it's white chocolate day, so I guess that's what we're really supposed to be tasting anyway. I just really love that Biscoff cookie butter, and I just thought the two of them together would be like winner chicken dinner. But still a really good bar. I'm gonna cut this up, finish my milk, have some more pieces. White chocolate day, do something for white chocolate day. My favorite chocolate, even though they say it's not chocolate, I don't care, it's chocolate. Alrighty? We'll see you tomorrow, everybody.